Hi everybody, how are you? It's still cold here and at level 6 load shedding, which means we have two times 4.5 hour power outages and once a 2.5 hour outage in a 24-hour cycle. I'm sure that I'm not the only person in this country who feels depressed and has had enough. 14, 15 years of this is indeed about enough, particularly because this year was worse than ever before. We had about 2 weeks now where we had level 1 power outages, and that is absolutely bearable, and one can get used to it. But now, all of a sudden, we jump from level 1 to 5 to 6. How? How can that be explained? It is all BS. They don't know what they are doing. That is what is wrong, along with the fact that they have stolen themselves into bankruptcy. So people ask my opinion about the BRICS summit, and I am too scared to give my opinion because I know I will be harshly judged. Well, I asked a few people around me and was actually surprised to hear how many deep down, almost undercover, think and feel the same way. And I know it is stupid, and I know it comes out of desperation, and I know we should care more, but we are so fed up that we almost don't give a rat's ass. As long as another country don't imprison us, we don't care. If they're going to give us electricity and bring back discipline to this country, we are all at a point where we are ready to say, bring it on, as long as it's done peacefully. Yes, I know it sounds ridiculous, and in a way, it is a very simplified narrative. And of course, it is far more complicated than that. But I'm not here to talk politics, and I promise you, you are not interested in my politics either. So, until old Harry lands in Britain and we are again bombarded with stories, photographs, and PR, let's talk about something else. Something which you may not agree with me with, or maybe you do agree with me, but you are too afraid to express it because you know that you will get a lot of backlash, or because you know that it will be the most unpopular opinion or thought and feeling. I, however, don't really care one way or the other whether you like my opinion or not. I've always promised you that I will be authentic. So, to preempt the discussion, let's use any kind of day to day occurrence. Maybe not something which has happened to you, but just to give you an idea of where I am going with this. Let's say your vehicle is making a strange noise, but you are so busy at work, and then everything else gets piled onto that, be it sport, family, kids, whatever, that you put off taking your vehicle to a mechanic. Hey, and that costs money, and there are a pair of boots that you really want, but you can't pay for repairs on your vehicle and buy the boot. So you decide to ignore the noise in the engine, but then one day on your way to school to drop your kids off and then go to work, your car breaks down. And now you do not only have to pay for repairs, but also for a tow in. And the mechanic tells you that had you brought the vehicle in sooner, the damage would have been far less. Now, this principle applies to almost everything in life: your health, financial matters, work, education, as I said, almost everything. An ignored health issue can even cost you your life. A small roof leak will become a big leak over time. You understand what I'm getting at? I'm sure you do. So that is why I do not agree with King Charles, or even William for that matter, ignoring Harry or literally running away when he is in the country. Oh, yes, I agree that he had no place at Balmoral because his BS has nothing to do with his aunts, uncles, nephews, and nieces, and they need not be placed in the middle of it or be subjected to it. But at some point, the king has to face his son. Forget about olive branches and peace negotiations, blah, blah, blah. Don't be bloody ridiculous. Their family issues are none of our business. What is our business is that of the monarchy, the British realm, and Commonwealth. And with Harry still fifth in line to the throne and still Chancellor of State, the King will have to sit down with him and discuss certain issues pertaining to those positions. The King has to lay down the rules for Harry. It has to be done. The King has no qualms about sacking people in the households who are considered inessential, excess, or redundant. Yet, if his son has decided not to ever return to Britain, then he too is inessential and redundant. Yet, the same king is unwilling to remove him from the line of succession or as Councillor of State. Instead, he asked to add two more people to the Councillor of State list. So, so much for slimming down. He is prepared to slim down on the vulnerable, the people the government is actually paying for, but not on the redundant prince living in a mansion in another country. He is prepared to get rid of people who are loyal to the family, prepared to work for them for wages and salaries well under the public sector rate, but he is not prepared to rid the monarchy of his disloyal and traitorous son. I don't get it. When I dare say this, people usually react with, but Andrew. So let me finish that sentence for you. But Andrew has never written a book, gone on Netflix, Spotify, or Oprah to slag off his family. Yes, Andrew's not doing royal duties anymore, has lost his honorary military positions, etc. But I understand why he's back at Balmoral as part of the family. Because one should be able to draw a line between the job and family. But in Harry's case, Harry, blurred the line because he slagged off both. Now, having said what I just said, yes, the monarchy is a business. And if by some oversight there happen to be, say, five people whose only job is to clean the carpets in one of the castles, then I think it is logical that there may be one or two too many. But say two is let go, then who do you think pockets those wages? Well, let me tell you, the king, because his sovereign grant won't change. Next year, the king's sovereign grant will remain at £86 million, but in 2025, it will increase to £125 million. Now remember, castles like Balmoral and Windsor are officially occupied by the king. They are running occupied properties, so they are being run by the royal household and not the Crown Estate, although it is owned by the Crown Estate. So the expenses of those properties are included in the sovereign grant. Thus, if the king cut 10% in the cost of running and managing those properties, he will have 10% more in his own pocket. So, yes, there are two sides to every story, but Sometimes the one outweighs the other. Okay, guys, so that is it for now. Okay, there is a second video popping up soon, so hang in there. Today we are indeed flip flopping from one topic to another. So I'll see you soon. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye.